Hello, welcome to the DLC without lore speculations. I want to talk about the DLC in the form of let's go back to see the future. So, I want to go back to the beginning and talk about the people who have created the Elden Ring, and then we are going to see some of my favorite gamers' reactions to the first trailer of Elden Ring, and then for the trailer of the Shadow of the Erdtree. And then in the end, I will have a very pretty story, and it's about Miquella. So hang in there. This is going to be lengthy, so you know, so probably will be cut up to shorter parts. Let's go to see the creators of Elden Ring and to the first trailers. We are going to see all the trailers from the first game reveal up to the first gameplay trailers and etc. Well, let's go.
Brandish the Elden Ring. For all of us.
Okay, let's go to George R.R. Martin first and hear what he told about Elden Ring and the creation of Elden Ring.
I know that you've recently been a part of developing a video game, and it seems to me like it's sort of a natural fit for a fantasy fiction writer to work on a video game. How is that, different from what we know you for working on?
Well, it actually is considerably different. I've played some video games. I'm not a big video gamer, but the game is called the Elden Ring, and it's a sequel to a video game that came out a few years ago called Dark Souls, and it came out of Japan.
Maybe
My
not
work
the
on
sequel,
it was
but
actually
anyway.
done years ago. These games, they're like movies. They take a long time to develop. Basically, they wanted a world created to set the game in. They wanted world building as a big factor in fantasy and science fiction. You're not only talking about the characters and the plot, but the setting is almost as important as everything else. Tolkien's Middle-earth, Robert E. Howard's Hyborian Age, the Foundation universe of Isaac Asimov. I worked up fairly detailed background for them. And then they took it from there. So, it's been several years since I've last seen them, but they would come in periodically and show me some monsters they designed or the latest special effects or the cool things. But the game has been very slowly developing, and now it's coming out in January, I believe. So I'll be as excited as anybody else to see it.
Okay. And then to Miyazaki.
But in real life,
not yet.
We suffer when people die. We're afraid of death ourselves.
Wait, I have to pause this. This is George talking about the deaths, the kills, and that was one of the parts of Elden Ring that really drew me into the game, because I have never played a game like Elden Ring, and this came out in a very difficult part in my life, and I really, really hooked on to it. First, I was looking at other streamers, and mostly I was listening to Elden Ring, because Elden Ring has a music that is so capturing, and we are not going to talk about the lore, but the life and death parts in the game are not definite. I don't have a good English word for it, but it's more like everybody are dead already, but we also live. Because I have had lost a dog recently then, and lots of other difficult things were happening in my life, and I felt like lost and meaningless in a way. And then I found Elden Ring, and in some miracle way, I can't explain it, but I found myself in Elden Ring. And I took this clip with George because I wanted to hear his explanation about death, because it's a huge part of Elden Ring. Oh, sorry, I think I moved something here. Let's listen to him.
We wonder what's going to come after when we lose a parent, a sibling. God help us, a parent loses a child. Our best friend died. One of my best friends died last year, the brilliant editor Gardner Dozois. Every one of these was an event that shook me, that made me sad, and I want to have that effect on my readers. I don't want death to be just an act break. Oh, okay, this character you never knew and didn't particularly care about is dead. Let's get on to the next sword fight. I mean, death should mean something. It's along with sex, death, sex, love. These are the most important primal things that define what our life is like here on the planet Earth. So it has to be treated with importance. So I try to make you feel the deaths. I don't necessarily have more than any of the people, but I try to make you feel them more. And the other thing is, I try to make them unexpected.
Okay. And now the cooperation between Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. I want to read something because I found an interview where Miyazaki explains working with George R.R. Martin on Elden Ring. It was like speaking with an old friend. And I want to read something in the end here that maybe explains something about the DLC. Developer FromSoftware interpreted these to build the actual game, Miyazaki said, and the issues that Mr. Martin dealt with in his writing provided these motives for the game itself. So that is something I'm very grateful for. I don't know what he was talking about. I read the sentence before. Martin provided Miyazaki and his team with samples of text depicting different parts of Elden Ring, like its history or important figures, along with a sort of backbone story to the world. Right. And then we go on to Miyazaki recently commented that Martin may be shocked. Oh, they call him Martin, not George. Okay, sorry. Martin may be shocked by what he's done to the characters in the final game and confirmed that Elden Ring's gameplay is as hard as ever. Blah, 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 and release date and blah, blah, blah. There is a theory in this because he says that Martin may be shocked. And I think all the characters are in the DLC, like Martin wrote it. And then Miyazaki came and tore everything apart and killed everyone. And, the bosses are already half dead and so on. And I think if you look at Farm Azula, you can see that it is in a whirlwind. But when you go down to the dragon boss, you can see that it was like built together from the beginning. And if we look at the DLC trailer, we can see a castle that is almost like Farm Azula. So I think this is a parallel universe or a dream, something that is more like Martin wrote it from the beginning. But let's see. We have many theories about this. So let's move on and see what we have on Miyazaki here. He's an interesting man, isn't he? Don't we all want to know what he's thinking about? Yes, Miyazaki, he is an old, he's an old fan of Martin, and he actually bought some type of original copy of let's see what it's called. Game of Thrones. Oh my God. Don't butcher me, because I have never looked at Games of Thrones. Game of Thrones. But anyway, Miyazaki is a fan of Martin, and he really loves his world building, and that is why he came to Elden Ring's support, of course. And then they worked a long time on this. I don't know for how long, but probably many years. And finally, we have the reveal trailer 2019.
Miyazaki, FromSoftware, Dark Souls. Game of Thrones.
I doubt you could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. Shattered by someone or something. Don't tell me you don't see it. Look up at the sky. It burns.
Elden Ring. What? Ya voy a verlo.
Very cool, huh? Okay, so let's look at the trailers that was from the beginning, because I think we may get some hints in the trailers for what we can expect from the DLC. So do you remember this? If not, let's look at it.
I doubt you could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. Shattered by someone or something. Don't tell me you don't see it. Look up at the sky. It burns.
Okay. Let's see next. I never saw these trailers from the beginning because I saw Elden Ring after it came out, so I see these for the first time actually.
Peggy 16.
The tarnished will soon return, guided by grace once lost. The Golden Order is broken to its core.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame.
They will fight, and they will die. In an unending curse. For how else is a champion or a lord to be born?
Well, a lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee now!
Brandish the Elden Ring. For all of us.
Okay.
Peggy 16.
We're going to break down these old trailers soon. I just wanted to show them in one continuously because
It happened
we
an
want
age
to
ago.
react on them later.
But when I recall, I see it true. On a night of wintry fog, the rune of death was stolen. And the demigods began to fall. Starting with Godwyn the Golden. Queen Marika was driven to the brink. The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom? And why?
Right. That's the question. Look here, this was before. I think this is part of the DLC, actually.
What could the demigods ever hope to win by warring?
The destruction.
The conqueror of the stars, General Radar. And the blade of Mikkel and Melania the Seventh. These two were the mightiest to remain, and locked horns in combat. But there would be no victor. And so, we inhabit a fractured world,
Right.
awaiting the arrival of the Elden Lord. Unless, of course, thou shouldst take the crown.
That's a very cool trailer.
Peggy 16.
Elden Ring is an action RPG set in a dark fantasy world. Enter the lands between, a place of boundless scale and untold mystery, where your journey to reveal the fabled Elden Ring unfolds.
Thou shouldst take the crown.
The lands between is ruled by great heroes, those who have inherited the blood of Queen Marika the Eternal.
Someone must extinguish thy flame.
You play as a descendant of the Tarnished, a group of heroes once banished from the lands between. When the Elden Ring was shattered, the very source of the Erdtree's blessing was disrupted, and eventually the exiled Tarnished found themselves being led once more by long-lost grace.
I offer you an accord.
As a Tarnished, you'll set off on a journey to the lands between, rich with mystery and fraught with danger, to face the former heroes of this world. The lands between comprises massive dense play spaces, teeming with threats and brimming with the unknown. You'll face many fearsome enemies, meet a wide variety of characters, and discover hidden dungeons. Those who brave these catacombs, mines and caves, will find themselves adequately rewarded. Travel far enough, and you'll eventually reach a legacy dungeon. A complex and intricately built dungeon map that connects seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. These sprawling environments offer their own style of tension and exploration, creating a different feel from that of your journey through the overworld. The lands between are vast and offer a high level of freedom for explorers. use the map to assist with navigation. Place beacons and markers for places that catch your eye, or fast travel to previously discovered checkpoints. For faster traversal, summon Torrent, your trusty spectral steed, at any time, anywhere outside of dungeon areas. Torrent offers excellent mobility, making it possible to venture further and higher into the lands between. Throughout your journey, you'll meet with many characters, each with their own motives and goals.
I am the lord of all that is golden.
Help them pursue these goals, to reveal their backstories and learn of your shared place in this world. Player freedom extends far beyond exploring the lands between. Your character can be fully customized, from appearance to armor and abilities. Become a warrior, specializing in close quarters combat. A caster that excels at sorcery or incantations. Or of course, you could attempt to master a little of everything. An extensive lineup of equipment, weapons, magic and skills are waiting to be discovered, allowing you to develop your character in whatever way you wish. A keen adventurer may find item crafting useful, using materials picked up along the way. Many different items can be crafted on the fly, from arrows and firebombs to cured meats and other consumables that offer a range of benefits. The player may call upon spirits to fight alongside them. Spirits vary in type and behavior, so summoning them according to the situation is key. In particularly dangerous situations, you may choose not to engage the enemy, using stealth to outflank or escape. You can also join with players from other worlds, to journey, explore, and challenge tenacious foes together. The expansive world of the lands between is abound with danger, intrigue, and mythological drama. Begin your adventure and reveal its secrets for yourself. Rise, Tarnished. Rise and become the Elden Lord.
Wasn't that a cool story trailer? Wow, wow, wow. This is first time
Peggy
I see
16.
this. Amazing. I think this is the launch trailer.
Make of thyselves that which ye desire, be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting
I
only
wonder if
to sacrifice.
these dragons are real in the DLC. The huge one.
Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Champions, welcome! A celebration of war! Aragon Festival!
abundance of grace abandons you?
Why accept the burden of their grace, or be fooled by the dogmatic ramblings of the fingers? Rise with us against the Erdtree.
Never met someone with a taste for brawn or contrast. We'd make good mates, I reckon.
I bid thee travel the path of the Lord. And once all is done, we shall see each other once more. Now, go forth. Become Elden Lord.
I wonder how many actually don't fight Radahn.
Peggy 16.
Playthroughs. Because now we have to make it to the DLC. Isn't that so?
Pure and
yeah,
radiant.
This is the DLC
he
trailer.
wields love to
I added
strive
it
clean
because
the
we
hearts
want
of
to see
men.
the context.
There is nothing more terrifying.
The things that we might have missed. Compared to the old trailers.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows. The Erdtree faithful.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
That is what I mean with the huge, the giants that we can see traces of in Elden Ring. And I think we will meet some mighty giants. This is one of them. Very cool.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikkeller is doing here.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
This is so cool. Well, we have lots of speculations on what actually happens in the DLC, and I want to see some other gamers' speculations because they have probably more information about the lore in the games than I have, because I really played the games for the feeling, for the music, for the environment, for the life and death experience, and for the challenge in it. It really makes me very calm, even though I get angry or I get frustrated. but it always makes me happier after I have played. So I don't give a crap about the lore actually, but I really care about the feelings of the gods, the feelings of the story, the people we meet in the story. So maybe that is lore, but for me it's more like, how do I feel when I play? How do I feel when I talk to these people? I have played it, I think I have done 3 full playthroughs, and I have some characters that I don't want to play all the way through. I think I did all 3 with the same character, and now I try to build up new characters and kind of put myself in a more uncomfortable situation and challenge myself, because I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of death, I'm afraid of losing someone, I'm afraid to not find what I'm looking for in life before it's too late. So all those things, I think, go into the game experience of Elden Ring. So I hope we see more of it in the DLC. But as I understand, there is another leveling system in the DLC. And I'm a little bit afraid that it's more like Dark Souls, unforgiving, that I can't get strong enough to really beat the bosses. It should be hard, though, but for a gamer like me that never experienced Dark Souls or never played shooting games, etc., I think Elden Ring really satisfied that part of me, because I can be so strategic and do stealth, and I can play safe. I can lure out some bosses, and I can, we can come through in the game without actually just doing the right thing that some other games really want us to do. So I really love the thought process in thinking out, how should I solve this, or how can I get past this enemy. Anyway, I wanted to show the reactions on the first trailers of some of the gamers I have been following, because it's very interesting to see how they speculate about Elden Ring. And now that we know every knuckle and corner of Elden Ring, almost, we can see it in another perspective before we look at the speculations about the DLC. Maybe we can find something in the old speculations about Elden Ring. So hang in there.